If you have ever tried to run Python code and felt confused about where to actually write it, you are in the right place. Today, I am going to show you Jupyter Notebook, the #1 tool used by data scientists and Python beginners all over the world. By the end of this video, you will be running your first Python code in Jupyter Notebook step by step. Now, welcome back to Nexus Academy, where we make tech simple, practical, and relevant to you. My name is Jacob. In today's video, we are diving into Jupyter Notebook. Whether you are just starting with Python or you are a student who needs to submit data analysis assignment, this tool is going to become your best friend. Let's get into it. First, let's understand what Jupyter Notebook is. What exactly is Jupyter Notebook? Jupyter Notebook is an open source web-based environment where you can write Python code, run it immediately, and see the results right below your code. It is interactive, meaning you don't have to run an entire program at once. You can run code in small chunks called cells. Think of it like a smart notepad where your node and your code live together. You can even add text explanation, images, and chat all in one place. It is used heavily in data science and machine learning, academic research, teaching and learning Python, data analysis, and reporting. And the best part, you can use it for free. So either you have it installed on your computer or directly in your browser with no setup required. Now, how to access Jupyter Notebook? For you to access Jupyter Notebook, let me show you the two main ways to access Jupyter Notebook. Number one is by using Google Colab. So you don't need installation to use Google Colab. So if you come here, go to colab.research. If you go to Google Colab here, you can sign in. I'm already signed in and it's showing me my recent what I use here. You can sign in with your Google account and create a new notebook. So if I close here, so you can click here and create a new notebook. And when you create a new notebook, you are in Jupyter Notebook style environment, ready to write Python. Then option 2 is via Anaconda on your system. If you have Anaconda installed, if you want to run Jupyter Notebook locally on your system, the easiest way is to install Anaconda, a free software package that comes with Python and Jupyter already included. So you can go to anaconda.com. I already have it installed, and if you don't know how to install, check the description of this video to download, to see how you can download the Anaconda. If you go to Anaconda, and then you can download on your system. Once it is installed, then open the Anaconda navigator. I already have it, so I can go to Anaconda. I can just type Anaconda like this, and then you can see the Anaconda prompt, Anaconda PowerShell, right? So if I click here, the Anaconda navigator will open. You can launch a Jupyter Notebook from there. So your browser will open automatically with the Jupyter interface. It is easy. Now that we are inside our Jupyter Notebook, let me quickly walk you through the interface so you are not confused. This is where you see your files and folder. So this is the dashboard where you see all your files and folder. You can open existing notebook or create a new one here. This is the one I've done before. You can create a new one. So if I can create a new folder, a new file, or a Python virtual environment. So if I click on here and I click on new file and I choose Python 3 like this, you may have a Python 3, so that's why I selected it. So you click on new, click on Python 3 IP kernel. This will open a fresh interface like this. Now this interface will show you different things. So we have the toolbar. This is the toolbar. So the toolbar up here, you have buttons to run the cell. So this is where the button to run the cell. You can stop, you can interrupt the kernel, and then you can also restart the kernel. So you can run the cell, save, and add new cells. So if you want to add a new cell, you can click on this plus button. You can also click here to save. You can cut the cell. Let's say I have two cells, for example. Then I want to cut this particular one. I can click on cut and it will cut. Then I can copy a cell and paste in another cell. So, and this is how you can do. Then I can change it to either Markdown or raw, depending on what I want to do. I will see that in a jiffy. Then this cell that you are seeing here, this is what we call the cell. This where my cursor is right now is called the cell. It is where you write your Python code. A notebook is made up of multiple cells. So I can click on click on here to create a new one. Then you can create as many cells as you want, right? Then we have cell type. There are two main type of cell. We have the code cell. This is where I was saying. So there's a code cell, there's a markdown cell, and where you write text or explanations. Then we have the kernel. Here you can see the kernel. So the kernel here, you can interrupt the kernel, you can restart and clear output. You can restart kernel and run the selected cell. You can run kernel and run all the cells. All of this you can shut down. You can shut down a particular kernel. You can shut down all the kernels. You can even change kernel. So if for example now I want to change to Python, to this virtual environment, I can do it. So you will see Python 3, which is what we are using now. That's the kernel we are using, the engine that actually run the code. So the kernel is the engine that actually run the code. Then writing and running your first code. If you can see where we come from now. So I'm going to play this. And then let's start from afresh. Yeah, for the fun part, let's actually write and run some Python code. So if I come here and I say print, we call the print function. Remember the print, the P should not be a capital letter. So if you come here and we say print hello world like this, close the bracket like this. You hold your shift down and hit enter, and there is it. Python just executed that code and printed hello world right below the cell. That output section, that is one of the most powerful things about Jupyter. You see results immediately. Now let's continue. If we go to cell 2, let's say we want to add 2 numbers, for example. Let's try some math. If we come here and then we now say 10 plus 5, 10 plus 5 like this. Hold your shift down and hit enter. You can see that it's giving us 15, even though we did not assign a value for it. So we didn't give it a variable. We didn't say result equal to and then print result. No, we didn't do something like this. It will still give us something like this. Doing something like this without going through that creating variable and assigning the value, we run it like this and it still give us the answer. Jupyter shows the result 15 automatically, so you don't even need to use the print function for the last line in the cell. So it's auto display the output. That's what I'm saying. Now let's look at the variables and strings. Let's level up a bit. So if we type let's say name, we say name John, and let's say age equal to 30, and what else should we add? So we call the f string. Inside the f string we say my, then we say name like this, name, and then is, and then we call the curly braces, passing the name variable inside, and close the curly braces. I am, then I'll call passing the age inside the curly braces again. You can see the way I'm doing it. I'm not writing the age, I'm not writing the age value, I'm writing the age variable name, which is age, and now the years old like this, and then close it, and then close the bracket like this. And then once I hit the hold shift down and hit enter, here we are. My name is John and I am 30 years old. We stored values in variables, which is name, age, those are our variable. We use the print function to print them using the f string. This is how Python handles dynamic text. Now, how do we add a new cell? You can see the way I've been adding. So I come here now and I hit enter. Once you hold your shift down, hit enter, a new cell is automatically created. So if I want to create another one, for example, I can just come here and click on this here. There are different ways you can add a new cell. So you can add a new cell underneath. If I want to add a new cell above this, for example, let's say I want to add a new cell above there, I can just do something like this and a new cell. So the one facing up is for a new cell above, the one facing down is a new cell below. This is how you can add a new cell. So either click any of this and add it below or after, or you can even click here and you add a new cell, whichever one works for you. And if you are coming and I will shift enter, a new cell is also created. So these are different ways you can add a new cell. Then you can also click insert cell, which is what I just showed you. Now running all cells at once. Let's say we already have multiple cells. Now let's say we want to run all cells at once. So once you have multiple cells like we have already, you can run them all together. Once you come to this run, so if you want to run all the cells, come to run, you see run selected cell and inside below, run selected cell and do not advance. You just come to run all cells. So once you click on run cells, the whole cells that you have will run automatically. So this is super useful when you come back to a notebook and want to re-execute everything from top to bottom. Now, how do we use Markdown? You remember I spoke about this Markdown the other time. For us to use this Markdown, one thing I love about Jupyter is that you can add text explanation right inside your notebook using Markdown cells. If we click on cells, so let's say we want to explain this, for example, here I want to come down to this place, and then I will now click on Markdown. Now that I've selected Markdown, I want to come here, then I'll type it and say double pound, then I'll say my first Python notebook, and then I can come under it and write something like this. This contains simple basic Python like this. Once I do this, I have now created a new. So if I hold shift down and hit enter, can you see? So this is how you create a Markdown. So it renders as formatted text, just like a document. This is why Jupyter is perfect for assignment, report, and tutorials. You can document your work alongside your code. So now, if we want to save everything that we've done here, how do we save it? So you don't lose your work. You save your notebook by compressing Ctrl X. If you press Ctrl X like this, or you can come here. If you press Ctrl S, it's already saved. It's already saved. Or if you're on Mac, you can do CMD plus S on Mac. I'm on Windows. Then if you can also click on File and click on Save Notebook and save notebook as or save all. So these are different ways you can save. Your notebook is being saved as Python file. That is the Jupyter Notebook format. You can share this file with anyone who has Jupyter Notebook or upload it to Google Colab and anybody can access it. Then if you want to also save it, you can click on this save here. Save. You can also rename it. You can name it basic Python code like this. So once I rename it like this, my file has been renamed. For a recap, let's recap what we have covered today. I've been able to explain what Python Notebook is and why it is powerful. 2 ways to access it: using Google Colab, no installation needed, and using Anaconda locally. You can also how to navigate the Jupyter interface. I've showed you that how to write and run Python code in cells. I've also showed you how to add text with Markdown cells, how to save your notebook. If you follow these steps, you will be running Python code in Jupyter Notebook like a pro. So start today. If this video has helped you, do me a favor, like it, share it with someone learning Python, and subscribe to Nextdoor Academy so you don't miss our next video. I have also a free Python exercise workbook and a full data science training. The links are in the description below. Whether you are a student, a job seeker, or just somebody who wants to learn tech, we got something for you. Drop a comment and tell me what's the first thing you wrote in your Jupyter Notebook. I read every comment. I am Jacob from Nextdoor Academy. I will see you in the next one. Keep building.